Sprouse.
Where do you live?
I live in Leawood, Kansas. I also have a home in Bremer, Missouri.
Go ahead.
Mr. Chairman, Commissioners, and members of the staff, thank you for taking the time to hear the concerns of the real stakeholders of this project. My brothers and I own a century farm in Caldwell County in the path of proposed power line. In my previous work, I head up engineering and construction at 2 different national telecom companies. I have a master's degree in EE. With my background, I've tried to educate landowners on the issues around this power line in my role as the Vice President of the Missouri Landowners Alliance. I realized recently that we've been looking at this whole situation wrong. First, this proposal needs to be denied, not because it's a private for-profit company, but because it's a deregulated company wanting the power of eminent domain like a regulated utility so they can make huge profits outside of the state of Missouri. They are throwing a small bone to the local municipal utilities for their support, with the possibility that they can buy cheap power, which, by the way, is likely to be just 4 to 8% of the total capacity of this line. This project should be denied because they should be committed to deliver 50% or more of their power under hard contracts with penalties if they fail to deliver before they got the right of eminent domain. You should also deny this project as Clean Line really hasn't attempted to privately obtain these easements. They are offering ag-appraised prices for the land. The reason we've been looking at this all wrong is because farmland around cities and major highways converts to commercial property as opportunities arise. This 5,000 acre easement across the state isn't ag property anymore. It's probably the most valuable single piece of commercial real estate in the state of Missouri. I've calculated the cost of this easement across the state and came up with their cost to be around $28 million. This is only 5% of the $525 million that they plan to project to spend the state for the most valuable piece of commercial real estate in the state of Missouri. That's just wrong. Why is it so valuable? Because based on their capacity figures and some assumptions on pricing, I estimated the Grain Belt Express at full capacity could generate $3 to $5 billion in gross wholesale revenues per year. Even at 80% utilization, the gross revenues could cover the entire easement cost in 3 to 4 days. Again, that's just wrong. Another reason you need to deny this proposal is the negative impact on landowners. I did some research, and in the 27 miles across Caldwell County to Route D at the edge of Carroll County, there are 90 homes within a half-mile proposed line, 52 homes 1,000 feet or less, and 19 unfortunate homeowners that would be 500 feet or less from the line. Using figures from the Missouri Extension, discussions from dealers and other sources, I extrapolate.
Excuse me? I can't even understand what you're saying.
Okay. Well, I did some research, and across the county to the edge of the Carroll County, there are 90 homes within a half mile, 52 homes 1,000 feet or less, and 19 unfortunate landowners that will be 500 feet or more or less from the line. Using figures from Missouri Extension and other sources, I extrapolated these figures for the entire state and concluded that Missouri landowners could experience an immediate $14 million loss in home values due to this power line. None of these homeowners would receive any compensation for this loss under the current proposal. Landowners would also experience future opportunity loss for home lots. This could easily amount to $8 to $10 million. Finally, there's evidence in some recent sales that the presence of this line on agricultural land affects its value. If we assume just a 10% on the land, a quarter mile on each side of the line, that would amount to over $26 million. Therefore, Missouri landowners and homeowners would experience $15 million in current and future asset devaluation if this line gets built. We could argue about my analysis, but I bet my figures are more close to reality than Clean Line's assessment of no impact. Frankly, that's actually insulting. Now that $50 million may not sound much like to venture capitalists, but to hundreds of landowners or homeowners affected, the loss of equity in their homes could be catastrophic. That's why you needed to deny this application. You also need to deny this application until Clean Line opens their books to their business case like they do their investors, so we can see what's reasonable for them to pay for private easements based on the profits they expect to make. You also need to deny this certificate until municipal utilities can prove they have exhausted their options to obtain cheaper power before grabbing the first silver bullet that comes along that has significant negative consequences. Finally, you need to deny this project because of the unnecessary corrosion risk in building this line next to the largest pipeline corridor in North America, creating future leaks and possible explosions. We don't need another Platte City fire just because they want inexpensive easements. Frankly, back to my experience, I'm surprised that FERC and Homeland Security would support this decision to have so many eggs in one basket. In summary, there are lots of plans that can be developed to improve energy sources in our state. This is just a bad plan that we need to walk away from and let our state and keep our state from being the doormat of private investors wanting to make a quick buck on the back of Missouri citizens. Thank you.